I love quintessential quintuplets. I watched the entire anime in one day, but I'd be lying if I said I was completely satisfied with the ending. After thinking about it a lot and doing research, I think I understand why it was partially unsatisfying and left a small hole in my enjoyment. Part of the blame lies on the author, part of it lies on the anime. All 5 of the sisters had great relationships with the main character, but not all of them were equal. When it comes to love triangles and harems, how I make my decision on who I root for the most is pretty simple. It's based on the quality and quantity of their romantic scenes. The girl who has the most amount and highest quality of scenes is usually the one I want to win. This is because of setup and payoff, one of the core principles of storytelling. The relationship with the most setup deserves the most payoff, which would be the 2 characters becoming an item. There's a negative side too. The more antagonistic scenes a girl has with the main character, the lower my investment in their relationship goes. Here are my stats for the 5 girls. Miko had the most quantity, and Nino had the most quality, despite her losing points by being a villain for about half the story. That's how high quality her scenes were. Ichika is behind Miko in quantity, but she lost a lot of quality points for her villain arc. Itsuki is low in quantity, and Yotsuba is even lower in quantity and quality. The problem with Yotsuba being the winner is that she had the least amount of setup. She had almost no romantic scenes with Fuutaro until the flashback arc, which revealed that she'd been in love with him the whole time and was holding back. That was an interesting plot twist, but she's way behind the rest in quantity and quality scenes by that point. The only way Yotsuba could have made a comeback is if she pulled the Nino and got a lot of quality scenes, but she didn't. So when she wins as the person with the least developed romantic relationship with the main character, it's unsatisfying, especially since there were 4 more qualified contestants. Another problem is the way the anime handled the timeline. I think the anime is phenomenal despite cutting out some minor subplots and scenes, but the way they rearranged the timeline negatively impacted my ability to root for Yotsuba. The first incident is minor. Chapter 72, which was cut from the anime, was the first time I'd say that it was obvious that Yotsuba liked Fuutaro, but nothing romantic happens between them after that, so it's negligible. The second incident is the real problem. The wiki separates the story into clean arcs. After season 2, we have the Quintuplets flashback, summer vacation, school festival, and finale. In the manga, the flashback is when we learn that Yotsuba has been in love the whole time, and then she wins at the end of the festival arc. Chapter 90 out of 122 is pretty late to join the race. It's 73% of the way through the story. Compare that to the other sisters. Miku's earliest romantic scene was in chapter 3 when she denied liking someone. That's the 2% mark. Ichika's was in chapter 12 when she and Miku both chose the same firework, which was symbolic of them liking the same guy, and then she gave Fuutaro a lap pillow. That's the 9% mark. Nino was in chapter 59 when she first confessed. That's the 48% mark. Itsuki was in 79 after she dressed up as Rena for the last time. That's the 64% mark. So based on just the manga, Yotsuba's way behind, but the anime skips the flashback and summer vacation, puts the school festival and finale arcs in the movie, and has the flashback that justifies Yotsuba's victory play after Fuutaro chose her. In the eyes of anime onlys, which I was before reading the manga, the sister that showed the least amount of attraction won, and then the story tried to justify it with retcons. That makes it feel like the story stabbed me and then tried to stitch the wound. Again, I love the anime, but this was a horrible decision. The story gave us a payoff and then tried to justify it with setup afterwards. The final problem is that the author blended romance with mystery in an ineffective way. As I said, my investment in the romance genre stems from the quantity and quality of the time the pair spends together. But with mystery, my investment comes from effective writing of clues and plot twists. The author tried to mix romance and mystery for the ending. Here are the examples I caught. The identity of the girl Fuutaro met as a kid would be the bride. The sister that kissed Fuutaro and rang the bell would be the bride. Some fans have also argued that because Yotsuba is number 4 and pointed to her ring finger on a cover, that was another hint that she'd be the bride. So, like a mystery, Yotsuba being the real Rena, the bell kisser, and the 4th finger were the mystery clues that led to her being the culprit. The mystery side is written decently, but this unfortunately comes at the cost of Yotsuba lacking quantity and quality time with Fuutaro, which makes the romance side fall flat. Quintuplets is ultimately a romance, not a mystery. In a mystery story, if the clues line up to a specific culprit, I'm satisfied. But that doesn't work in a romance. I'm only satisfied if the winner has built up a strong enough relationship through quantity-quality time. This was not the case with Yotsuba. The mystery clues could work as an addition to the normal romance investment, but not as a replacement. Imagine if a murder mystery chose the culprit based on how much investment the audience had in them, rather than clues that logically led to them. In conclusion, Quintuplets is amazing, but the final decision of Yotsuba winning leaves an unsatisfying ending because she had too little amount of setup and effort put into her relationship for it to be the only ship that sailed, especially compared to the other 4 who had more setup.